That dead body? Now he definitely couldn't fool me. I gotta run that back, man. What the hell? Definitely dead.
Did you know that every single part of your body, almost every aspect of how you handle your life, is owed to how you use your breath? Inhale and exhale through the nose, better health, less disease. Inhale and exhale through the mouth to generate energy. Short inhale through the nose, long exhale through the mouth to meditate. Breath of fire, rapid inhale, exhale through the nose for euphoria and energy. Long inhale through the mouth, long exhale through the mouth, releasing trauma. Inhale through the mouth, exhale through the mouth in an O shape, deep grounding and body connection. Inhale, exhale through the mouth in a whistle for instant joy.
Okay, this is very cool. I did not know you could do this. Here's another one. Watch this. Did you know you can grow apples like this? Watch closely, guys. This is incredible. So we learned in the last video that aloe vera being added to these cups is somewhat of a rooting agent that'll help these root. Obviously, you need to use apples that have apple seeds and grapes that have seeds, if you watched the previous video. But look, all you gotta do is just like this. Watch the video and maybe try this at home. I believe this is real because it makes sense. Just takes a little bit of time, but there is a chance, you know, the internet's weird. So let me know in the comments if you think this is real or not.
I don't know. It seems like it might be real because they do got seeds in there, and cutting a little space over there to have room for the seeds to sprout to the water. It kind of makes sense. I think it could work. What you think? Leave a comment below.
I'm pretty sure it is. And this is another genius way to grow apples. I just thought I would share that with you guys because I didn't know that. This blew my mind. I thought other people might find this valuable. So there you go. I bet you didn't know that.
It was a normal Sunday in Vail for Geraldine Vargas. Normal until she and her husband stumbled upon something kind of weird.
We were taking photos around the area and we just, I mean, how could you miss this? It was just like glittering in the sun.
Thousands of these tiny purple-hued spheres piled in the middle of nowhere.
It's just one of those things that you've never seen before.
They were watery. Some were translucent, and the pile was completely isolated. Geraldine was amazed, and she wanted answers.
We did email a friend of ours who's a zoologist, but she didn't know, I mean, she didn't seem to recognize what it was.
So she sent K-Gun 9 these pictures, hoping we could figure it out. So we checked out the mysterious spheres for ourselves today, and they were still there. They're like gooey marbles that ooze out a water substance when we squish them. They roll, they shine, and they're just out of this world.
We're dying to know what it is.
And so are we. We spoke to Darlene Barreau, the director of marketing at Tucson Botanical Gardens, whose husband is a botanist. He said if these are something naturally occurring, they could be slime mold or jelly fungus. But no one is positive what these spheres are, and for now, all we can say for certain is that they're definitely out of the ordinary.
Is making it rain in a sweltering desert by zapping clouds with electricity using drones.
Fascinating, isn't it?
so much to ask, but let's take it and then we'll do a few questions.
Before we talk about what's happening in Dubai, let's talk about cloud seeding in general, because a lot of people, I don't think, understand what cloud seeding is. This has been going on for decades, by the way. This is not something that's brand new. But traditionally, what cloud seeding is, it involves using aircraft or drones or even some cannons to push silver iodide up high into the clouds. Why silver iodide? Because what that has the same crystallized structure as ice. So once it gets up into the clouds, it starts to accumulate ice on it and these large raindrops, which helps, especially in a cloud mass that's not really going to rain. It helps to bring rain and especially snow down.
So it works.
It does work. Marginally, but the problem with silver iodide through the years has been this, is that they feel it could be harmful to aquatic life. Okay? So over in Dubai, which is what you're seeing here, they took it a different step, and what they basically did, they had a fleet of drones that flew up into cloud cover, and they use electrical charges to force water droplets to combine into larger ones.
So not
Reason why they got those big floods over there in Dubai now. It's crazy, man, messing with nature like that. They're gonna learn.
silver, not cloud seeding as we know.
No, they're not using the traditional silver iodide, which takes out the environmental aspect of that, okay? So they're using just electricity to create larger raindrops. Why larger raindrops? Because in Dubai, they only average about 4 inches of rain per year, as most of the rain that falls out of the clouds evaporates because it's so hot, it's so dry, and the water molecules are so tiny. So they're trying to stimulate by using electricity these droplets to be larger, hence they can make it to the ground. Now, I will tell you that the jury is still kind of out a bit on whether or not this was a fluke, whether this is something that can work long term. So they need to continue with these drones, and they're going to continue to do this.
To convene my entire cabinet as part of a whole of government response. And that response is to increase the number and intensity of the extreme weather events and be where we're going to use all the resources available to the government to do it.
So y'all mean to tell me that it's snowing in June?
So it is June 7th.
Snowing in June.
And those some big flakes too. You better be lucky that it's still warm and the ground's still warm, or else it'd be sticking and it'd be chaos.
And it is snowing here in Fort McKay.
This is crazy. This is in June, the summertime. It's somewhere else. The day after. Snowing.
Not even
in June. This is crazy.
Oh my god, they're only it's like, oh.
So our climate is so cooked right now that it's people across the world that can go outside and make Frosty the Snowman in the summertime. I think the pose is definitely shifted because we've been having some extremely abnormal weather patterns that's been happening. Think about it, in the middle of June, have a snowball fight. That's absolutely crazy.
What I've discovered in realizing that they were practicing a Hebrew mysticism, the letter V in Hebrew is 6, right?
Oh yes, the vowel. Yeah, that's correct.
Instead of So when you look at BW there, you actually see 2
very
V,
interesting,
right? W.
And then
I found the number 66 is the number of the fallen angels.
Wow.
And so W actually means the fallen angels in magic. And VW, he crossed the 2 V's, making 666 because he knew. And
incredible.
They realized that Hitler is practicing Hebrew magic. Okay, that one's for a little. And it all goes back to these fallen angels.
It does indeed. The fallen angels that have taught these men these horrible things. Samael is a name for the devil. Lilith, by the way, is the consort of the devil. This is the mistress of the devil. There we have Baphomet, the horned god. Well, he's saying that's for the sign for W, but is it? I would think it's the unholy trinity. Here's simply the sign of the devil by Prince William. And this, oh my.
Self-made into an angel.
An entire bridge just collapsed at a national park called Teton Park in Wyoming, right? Look at that shit. That shit look crazy. So if anybody was going to visit a Teton Park, be careful because the rollers are slipping out there. What's going on with the earth though? Look at this. A large chunk of Wyoming's Teton Pass.
Ooh, can you imagine riding on that road when that happened? That's a big crater look like. It look like wasn't nothing under their road.
This road collapses. Unclear how quickly it'll be built. Boy, look like somebody shot a RPG at that thing. 5 homing missiles. Woo! That's crazy. See caption if you're planning a trip to the... Talk about a detour. That's crazy. So this an article right here said a partial collapse of a road in Wyoming as a result of a landslide. So that's what happened. A landslide occurred over the weekend, raises serious questions about the state of the nation's infrastructure. Echoing concerns aired recently over a range of issues, from frequent water main breaks to the bridge collapse. Y'all remember them? The Teton Pass is a critical link between Ohio, Idaho, and Jackson, Wyoming. There's no timeline for the reopening, which could take weeks to months, says Daniel Aldridge, director of Northern East University. Yap. I don't know about y'all, but that's pretty alarming. And like he said about the infrastructure in America has our infrastructure that was already built. What they did is build on top of it. And when
it's just everything these days is cheaply made. It's like as time go on, the more you can cut costs, that's what they gonna go with.
they build on top of it, they're fast projects. So there was already grid lines. They just let down cities in concrete. Well, how you think they know where to plant a concrete, how to scale mountains to make freeways? Because the grid is already set. So all they got to do is follow accordingly. But this is crazy though. This looked like a whole cavern or a cave that was in here. Like, what's going on this planet, man? To where everything is just falling apart.
A lot of the times you won't receive your blessings or manifestation because God doesn't want the devil sitting at your table. So this is a quote I've heard from someone recently, and I felt the need to share it to all spiritual and religious people. This is very, very true. Doesn't matter if you're spiritual or religious, this video is to let you know that you're not the problem sometimes. It's not that you're doing something wrong or your manifestations are just never coming, or the universe, your spirit guides, God hates you. It's because there are snakes in your grass. There are people that are around you that shouldn't be around you, that are energy vampires, that are parasitic, that are narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths. And if you don't recognize who they are, or you do know who they are, yet you somehow always allow them in your life, do you really think God, your spirit guides, the universe is going to give you this much abundance? The abundance that you're asking for when you have people that could backstab you at any moment around you? If your spirit guides truly love you and care for you, they will not allow these people to take a piece off of your blessing. Now, something even more insidious about this is that some of the people who do receive blessings are actually light workers. If you're not familiar with that term, it just basically means you are from the higher realms, so 12th dimension and above. That's what we would consider heaven. And you were sent down here onto this matrix to expose others to Christ consciousness. And you as a light worker, especially if you carry a lot of Christ consciousness within your heart, you are heavily targeted by these devils, or the ones from the lower realms. They feed off of your light, they feed off of your emotions, and they love to feed off of your fear and sadness. And I understand a lot of you have big, open, loving hearts. But these entities, they don't care that you love and light them. They're going to feed off of you regardless. If anything, you're inviting them into your space even more. So do yourself a favor. If you know exactly who is dragging you down, it is time to stop being the nice person, stop being a people pleaser, and just cut them off. You will see your manifestations and your blessing coming in like that. The fallen angelic groups
Ready to cut nobody off.
And the Leviathan consciousness does not want humanity to ascend because this is their territory, this is their playground. So do your part in getting rid of them from your sphere, so you as a light worker can actually do what you're meant to do here on Earth. When you're spreading your energy too thin and you're trying to help all these different people out who don't want to be helped, you're draining your resources. Earth is pretty much a battleground between heaven and hell, if you're religious, or galactic interplanetary warfare, if you are spiritual. Now, if you want to learn more about the fallen angelics, Leviathan consciousness, what this matrix really is all about, why do these fallen angelics feed off of our energy, my book, titled Made in God's Image, talks about everything you need to know about this matrix system and what is happening here on Earth. The link to my book is in my bio, and I hope it brings you some sort of enlightenment.
Weird conspiracy theories. What if your pillow could collect your dreams and in the morning you could plug it in and watch it all over again? That'd be lit. What if we used to be able to make wishes but someone wished we couldn't? Kind of insane. This is a photo from the 1940s of what many believe to be a megalodon shark swimming next to a U-boat. That's too much. What if the bruises and small cuts we randomly get are from our soulmates getting injured? That's a stretch. Many experts believe that by the year 2045 we'll achieve digital immortality, uploading our minds to a computer and back to a different body. And what if Mr. Krabs is Pearl's sugar daddy, which is why she's always calling him daddy and asking for money? Damn.
These are scary what if theories. What if there are really aliens disguised as humans and they are spying on us, plotting the perfect time to strike? What if stars are cameras from aliens and we are a zoo or a experiment? What if our life is a video game and every time you start a new year, you start a new level? As the game progresses, the levels get harder and harder to manage.
Man, because the level I'm at, it's kind of hard, man. I ain't ready for the next levels. Take it down, man. Give me some superstars or something. Some kind of points I can use.
Those who die have completed their game. What if every time you hear that voice in your head telling you not to do something, it's your future self warning you because they already know the outcome? What if oxygen is actually poisonous and takes us 70 to 100 years to affect us?
Y'all, I have no words right now. Alien secrets could be disclosed by the end of 2024. New York Post. Before we really get into it, you're going to want to watch the whole video because there's so many parallels. So many things are happening over and over and over again. And this is just insane. So again, alien secrets could be disclosed by the end of 2024. Before we get into this article and the inside paper and what the government's doing about aliens, do you remember in January when I made a prediction video about what was going to happen this year? Let me show you. January 4th, 2024.
These are my predictions for 2024. 2. Alien contact. And yes, I am being dead serious. First off, we will see the sightings of UFOs ramp up like never before. We'll hear villages talking about seeing aliens, and I believe a high political figure will release a video of a real-life alien gray. They will come out and say, we have been talking to these aliens, to these grays, and they're going to...
Oh, damn, y'all couldn't hear me. But he over here acting like he predicted something. He over here acting like the video he's showing is showing him predicting something, but he ain't predicted shit.
to help us some bullcrap like that.
Now back to the Post. The U.S. government has been ordered to share extraterrestrial secrets by October 18th. But this just gets so freaking crazy. Everything is literally repeating itself over and over again. Just how on the 8th of this month they started talking about the aliens again. And the 8th of last year, on this same month, the House Oversight planned UFO hearing after unconfirmed claim. Exactly how we had the Miami Mall incident in the beginning of this year. And the same exact thing at the beginning of last year. But this gets so much crazier. Aliens might be living amongst us disguised as humans or in a base inside of the moon. Harvard study. Are y'all freaking serious? New York Post said the same thing. Now let's get even weirder. Where did they get this picture from? I don't think this is a prop. Look what's happening inside as far as the mechanics of the machine. It was said the U.S. government got some crazy alien technology back at the Roswell stuff, right? Again, the U.S. government is ordered to share things about incidences with the crash in New Mexico, Roswell. Lawyer Daniel whatever has been pushing the Pentagon to release alien files. So we have Harvard and we have U.S. officials, just like I said in January. All 6 United States military services, all 18 of the United States intelligence agencies, all 32 of our United States Defense Department.
What's the hold up? If they really got the files, why is they waiting so long? Just release the files, man. I'm pretty sure most people don't even care at this point. They didn't draw it out so long. It's like somebody telling you that they're going to take you to Six Flags your whole life, and then after 20 years, they finally take you. I don't even want to be here no more.
Agencies are all ordered to gather together every single piece of information they have pertaining to the UFO phenomenon. But again, we have Harvard telling us that these aliens could be humans, also living in the moon. So I'm very excited to see how they pull that one off.
She's on your clothes. She's on your clothes.
He's hiding behind here. Hello.
I'm cool.
This is one of those kill it with fire moments. We'll just close him back up.
What is you doing, bro? Is that a whole nest of baby spiders? Dude is tripping.
Has anyone heard of the conspiracy theory that Augusta National pumps in bird sounds during the Masters? Personally, I've been to Augusta twice. I've been to the Masters 2 separate times. Got my nice hat and my nice shirt at the pro shop up there. But both times that I went, I made it an emphasis to look for birds. I walked that entire course 3 different times during those 2 trips I was there. Not once did I ever see a bird.
I don't know. That kind of makes sense because if they out there playing golf, they don't want no kind of birds flying by or anything. So I'm pretty sure they got some kind of propellant to keep the birds away and a lot of different kind of animals as well.
I genuinely believe that they do pump in bird sounds at that golf course. If you watch it on TV, you can hear birds all the time. You can, but I'm telling you, I've been twice. I've looked for those birds. They aren't there. If you happen to be at the Masters this week, when you go tomorrow, look for birds. You won't find one.
I wanted to talk about what's going on in Idaho because some of you have probably heard about this, but the state of Idaho has put a water curtailment order, which is basically a water shutoff order on literally 500,000 acres of farmland. That's a lot of potatoes. A lot of these farmers, this impacts...
Oh, not the potatoes. I love me some potatoes. I like fries. I like sweet potatoes. I like yams. I like mashed potatoes, loaded potatoes. Any way you can make potato, I like it.
About 6,400 water users. But a lot of these farmers that are farming this land have already invested thousands of acres, thousands of dollars per acre to grow potatoes.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Trevor Belknap. I operate a family farm, a 5th-generation family farm in the Snake River Valley of eastern Idaho. I just wanted to visit with you for a minute about the impacts of the water curtailment order that's been issued by Director Weaver from the Idaho Department of Water Resources. The situation in which we find ourselves is about as bad as it gets. Not only will we be out of business, many other businesses will be highly impacted, and you, as my friends and neighbors, will also be impacted because we're so interconnected. If the ag economy in eastern Idaho fails, which it surely will if this curtailment order is in place, it can remain in place, will dry up and blow away, just like it did back in the Dust Bowl of the 30s. Banks will fail. Equipment dealers, car dealers, gas stations, grocery stores all rely on the ag economy that's here in eastern Idaho. The children in our schools, how many of them belong to families who work in some form of ag industry in eastern Idaho?
When 2 frequencies of the same length meet, the size of the frequency doubles. It's called constructive interference. This is why we get energy from being around certain people and why being around others might drain you. When 2 frequencies don't match, it's called destructive interference and nothing happens. There's no resonance, no law of attraction, no peace, no freedom. This is why we need to become a vibrational match to our desires in order to attract them into our life. Becoming a vibrational match activates constructive interference and therefore the law of attraction. The way we talk to ourselves every single day directly influences our vibrational frequency.
Martial law predictive programming this year. This is not a prediction, just pattern recognition. Things inserted into the consciousness all of a sudden. Let's check it out. Martial law thought experiment starting in the Marshall Islands. Taking the news this year all of a sudden.
There's more and more thought about this martial law. If that was to take place, how many of y'all be prepared? How y'all think we'll react as a nation? It'd be straight chaos if you ask me.
And also has the weird weather anomaly. It looks like a date. This has been covered as well as other weather anomalies like the blob, Antarctica, and other rabbit holes. Aside from Marshall Islands, the system makes sure you always know when the darling of the week is in the media, the celebrity they want you to worship, which happens to be Marshall Mathers recently. Make sure everybody know the return of Marshall. Also Mars, which is where martial law comes from, by the way, in etymology. Mars has been in the news a lot lately, and a few days ago there was a very rare planetary alignment also involving Mars. Mars energy, anybody? Random but interesting segue that means nothing. Check out this Walmart martial law, possibly built-in anagram similarity. Kind of weird. Random stuff that definitely means nothing by itself, but once you're onto it, you keep seeing things like YouTube releasing The Marsh as of 2 weeks ago, and it's shown you a few times in the feed. I think stuff like this could be when your mind is just kind of onto it. Speaking of movies and good old predictive programming, aside from recent movies like Leave the World Behind and Civil War, all portraying this same similar martial law type chaotic scenario, and recent things leading up to now like Red Dawn, which depicts a UN foreign nation takeover, martial law type of environment, all leading to this most recent Batman clip. Check it out, pay attention to the date.
Wednesday, November 6th. The city is underwater. The National Guard is coming. Martial law is in effect.
Did he just say November 6th? Not just November 6th, but did he specifically make sure we know it was Wednesday, November 6th? Wonder if there's anything important that happens the day before. On Tuesday, November 5th. Which brings us into the Purge election year predictive programming, which you're already onto the thread and probably needs no explanation.
Breaking news. We've just got word that the NFFA has declared martial law across the country. The U.S. military will be sent into nearly every city to stop violence and restore peace. Citizens are being called to Berlin.
This movie also further ties in themes like the Nephilim clown, possession through transformation, mask, clown appearance, Nephilim archetype, and it even shows a scene with guillotines being used, which is interesting if you know the book of Revelation, beheadings, that's the Antichrist method of execution, and in Revelation the souls under the altar, the martyrs. So I wonder whether prophecy fulfillment, real or just engineered fictional flag type of stuff, is this idea being inserted into the collective conscious thought field, which isn't new by the way, it's kind of always been there, but seems like possibly it's getting ramped up. I wonder if this Trump criminal thread thug life scenario could lead to a 4-year electricity ritual where Trump wins and people think everybody's just crazy, lost their mind, and old powers are calling in the UN to come regulate and restore order. Again, that's just a fictional thought. But what's not fictional is the elections coincide with the Olympic year calendar every 4 years. The Olympics, by the way, dedicated to honor the god Zeus. Also the same year Zeus is being honored, if you look deep enough into masonry and other literature, you'll find that there's an inserting Osiris spirit ritual done the day the president takes his oath, supposedly. Will Batman be right? We'll see, but whatever the law of man or the land, remember the highest law. Don't let it depart from your mind, heart, or mouth, especially during these times.
Sound vibrations and frequencies to carve and levitate heavy stones and objects. Research indicates that Egyptians had some device that could be tuned to a specific frequency, and with it, they could cut massive stones. One of the
I could see it. I think back in the day, they used a lot of sounds and vibration to move things. Not only move things, but just do a lot of things in general.
Shreds of evidence of these devices is the Al-Nasla rock formation found in Saudi Arabia. 2 6-meter-high boulders, 20 feet high, stand atop their pedestals, separated by a perfectly smooth crack. It looks like it's been cut in half by a laser beam. One geologist says that the split could have been caused by freeze-thaw weathering, but others say the split is too precise and smooth to have natural causes. It's speculated that the formation is
I really don't want to sound like a crazy person, but when I walked past this light, I felt fucking strange. I still feel kind of fucking weird. And I don't want to sound crazy, but like, what's the purpose of this? I know maybe you can see the purple.
On my right is what a normal light should look like, right? That's the kind of lighting. But across Phoenix, we are seeing this instead, more purple lights showing up. We're told about 1,200 of these lights started popping up a couple of months ago in the city. That's out of...
I don't know, I've definitely seen some of them purple lights out here in Atlanta. And it is kind of spooky for them to just be popping up now, because I've been alive for how many years and I never seen no purple lights.
About 100,000 total lights in Phoenix.
You may have seen them lately on your evening commute. Street lights across the state that are glowing blue. And the Iowa DOT says it's an issue they are aware of.
That's right, Patrick. When they were first installed over a year ago, they were a normal white color. Now, as you can see here behind me, they've changed to a purple blue color.
The lights really are different colors. Some white, some a purple, even blue hue. 16 months ago, they gave off the normal white light, but within a year, their true colors started shining through.
Purple street lights that are still illuminating some roads right here in the Triad.
These purple street lamps have seen the light of day or night on many roads in the Carolinas, from Kernersville to Greensboro, Burlington, and beyond.